flames which were beginning to lick the floor beneath the bedroom door behind her. The heat and smoke made it hard to see shapes, so she followed the floor with her palms. The thought of her 5-year-old son sitting in his bedroom, terrified, made her almost desperate to scream out to him. But she wouldn't. She wouldn't risk letting someone know that she was alive. "I'm coming, baby," she whispered instead. She longed to hear him whimpering in the distance, awakened from one of his terrible dreams. His room was too far. She had always hated how the 2 bedrooms were laid out at opposite ends. But of the apartments she'd seen, this had been the best. Her meager salary didn't afford her much in the way of choice. She'd anticipated this moment, needing to get to him in an emergency. She would do it. She reached Ryan's room and saw him, face down on the floor. "No," she said in a sob, pulling him toward her. "Ryan." She turned him over and lifted his head onto her lap and felt for the pulse in his throat. It was there, strong and solid, thank God. He'd fallen from the bed, maybe passed out from the smoke, but he was alive. Now she needed to get them out of here. She paused, wondering if her plan would work. She caught herself and forced the doubt from her mind. She'd practiced this from start to finish dozens of times, only she'd never had Ryan with her. She moved them toward the small balcony that was supposed to be a monument to the French in old New Orleans. She'd warned Ryan never to go out there. She hadn't been sure it would hold them both. Now she knew it was their only chance. Taking Ryan with one arm, Megan sucked in a deep breath and slid them along the floor to the window. Her eyes closed against the fierce heat and smoke. She moved cautiously until she felt the wall against her outstretched hand. She dropped her face and sucked in a deep breath, and then forced air into Ryan's lungs with CPR. "Hang in there, buddy. We're going to make it." They had to survive. She found the handle to the old balcony door and pulled off the 2x4 she'd used to block Ryan from climbing out. On the far side of the balcony was a small ledge. Beyond that, there was a narrow stretch of roof that would get them to the building next door. From there, they could traverse to the building farther down where the car was parked. The window's glass was cool against her fingertips, and she could almost feel the fresh air outside. Using the edge of Ryan's blanket, she cranked down the latch and pushed the old window out. The hinges squeaked but released. She stepped out first, testing the balcony before pulling Ryan out with her. He was heavy, and her biceps ached immediately from the weight of him, but there wasn't time to adjust the load. Instead, she pushed the window shut again, and gripping Ryan with one arm and the ledge with the other hand, she made her way across the narrow landing. She could hear the steady rasp of Ryan's breathing in her ear, and it was all she needed to push her onward. Her body pressed to the wall, she crept until she could feel the old ladder to the roof against her shoulder. From the direction of a window in the building across the street, she heard the rough tones of male voices. She pressed herself against the building, fighting the tremors in her legs and hands. She knew the harsh Russian accent. She could picture the faces. She'd been waiting for this for 2 years. And finally, they were here to finish off the business Oscar Kirov had threatened. "You will pay. You and your son will pay for my son's death. I don't care how long it takes." Forcing herself forward, she lifted Ryan up over her left shoulder and stepped onto the first rung of the fire escape toward the roof. Down below, she could hear the fire engines arrive. She could now see 2 men standing in a window across the street, pretending to watch the fire. Megan recognized their light hair and angular faces. They were Oscar Kirov's remaining sons. The building cool on her back, she forced a breath. The small balcony outside Ryan's room was hidden from their view, but it wouldn't be long before they realized she wasn't inside her apartment. She only wished the engines had been slower to arrive. Moving more quickly, she pulled them up the ladder rung by rung. Her hands were soot-covered and slipped against the old iron. Her arm and back muscles burned, and she tucked her elbow under one of the rungs to leverage her back strength and continue upward. She heard the ladder make a deep moaning sound beneath her, and she blinked hard, praying.